how did we get to this level, Nigerians? I ask this question every day by day because we have so much unprofessionalism happening in our country, in every sector in this country, Nigeria. In the health sector, we have unprofessional people there. In the military sector, we still have unprofessional people there. Every sector in Nigeria, we have unprofessional people there. Because that's the reason why a Nigerian military fighter that was targeted to attack Lakwara terrorist group was reportedly happened that this thing mistakenly bombed and destroyed some communities in Sokoto and fired some residents. This is unprofessionalism because I don't see a reason why professional will be doing such kind of mistake with people's life. And this is not the first or second time we've heard such thing coming from the military. That they mistakenly did this, mistakenly did that. Take a look at what happened in Meduguri, where they fired 100 people and they said that it's a mistake. So you mistakenly shot down 100 souls because of your unprofessionalism. This level of this is where this country cannot move forward because they have incompetent people on positions in this country called Nigeria. Because see, maybe you are ready to hear the analysis from Arise News. You see how Rufai actually said that this military must be probed because these things is now looking as if it's planned and not just a mistake. So that's the reason why you should target. So I believe these things are programmed. That once target this area, it must get to that area and nothing else. But how can it mistakenly go and enter Sokoto and destroy some communities there? And we also is a mistake. Let me guys hear what Rufai said in this news, this and Arise News, and I'll be back shortly.
In another development, reactions have trailed the killing of over 10 civilians in Silame local government area of Sokoto State by military fighter jets said to be targeting the Lakorora terrorist group. Amnesty International has called for a thorough investigation. Let's take their tweet. They wrote, "The Nigerian authorities must conduct a thorough, independent and impartial investigation of the military airstrike that killed at least 10 people at 2 communities in Silame local government area of Sokoto State. The President Bola Tinubu's government must promptly set up an independent inquiry into Silame local government area villages airstrike, and where these investigations indicate criminal responsibility, ensure that those suspected to be responsible are brought to justice in fair trials. The Nigerian military has consistently failed to thoroughly, independently, impartially, transparently, and effectively investigate these incidents that have become a vicious cycle for villagers constantly living with the fear of the next attack. Victims and their families must be provided with access to justice and effective remedies." I mean, this was the main point, really. I mean, we need that investigation. It's not the first time that we're hearing. 10 people, needless death. I mean, it didn't need to happen. And that, statement from the military saying they were targeting the terrorist group. They were not terrorists, they were civilians. What happened there?
So in 2023, Human Rights Watch had noted in Nasarawa State and in Kaduna State, it had friendly fire from the military Air Force to Nigerians living in communities. I recall that we talked about this at length. And the reason why we call for independent, impartial investigations like Amnesty International has done is to avoid these occurrences from happening again. That's why we call for it. But what they said, the military's response is that they identified through intelligence reports that there were terrorists in Lakorawa local government area in Sokoto State. And based on that information, decided to attack on Christmas morning, yesterday, about around 7 a.m. But what the villagers on ground have said, including some community leaders, is that there were peaceful people there. And the military made a mistake, made an error, and bombed innocent people, killing 10 people. So it's one story versus the other. And when this happens, the best way to get to the bottom of it or to get the truth is to conduct an investigation. If indeed the Air Force is culpable, we're not saying that, they are evil, they are bad. We've praised the efforts of the military a number of times here on this show. It is that let us have an investigation so that we understand what the real issues are. This kind of bombings, 3 incidents in the space of 1 year or less than 18 months, it doesn't make sense. So that's what we're calling for. I stand by the tweet by Amnesty International. I mentioned that earlier today. Let an investigation be conducted rather than just a knee-jerk reaction to the first response, which is denial by the military.
Right. You wanted to say something?
Okay, I want to say something, and that's why what the president said that day was very bad. You see, when I was mentioning that thing, that day. A lot of people say Rufai Yahweh is mad, is this and that. I know what I'm saying. In a country where the president just comes, I'm not saying don't praise the military. Nigerian army, a round of applause for you, the great work you do at keeping this country together. But when a president sweepingly absolves the military of anything and say there's no need for a probe, it's an assault. As a day when I was saying it, I was just talking about the Okwama case.
Yeah.
But this case now crept up. Please, President Mia said we're going to probe the military. I think they should be probed on this matter.
Right.
Because in the end, what always happens is that, Oji, and I'm saying this based on the RAN incident and also the incident that happened recently, nobody is probed. You just come with this stupid visit of sorry to the victims. And nothing happens in the end. We can't continue to live our country this way.
All right.
Okay, I'll just give a small footnote. I commented on this earlier when the story came up. The first thing is that, look, we're dealing with asymmetrical warfare, very unconventional. And in this kind of situation, there is likely to have this kind of mistakes. It has happened before, it has happened now, it's likely to happen again. The responsibility of the armed forces is to make sure that they recognize the nature of the warfare. They've been talking about technology. In other places, they need to deploy the necessary technology to make sure that this level of collateral damage does not occur.
Absolutely.
Now, they say, about the Lakurawa, there's also a peculiarity about the Lakurawa. They are already embedded in these communities. So, and you also find some of these communities accommodating them in a classical case of the Stockholm syndrome that we have seen in Nigeria, either in the plateau or also now in Sokoto State. So when these people are embedded in the community, they set up their own individual taxation system. Now the military finds itself in a very difficult place to sift the wheat from the chaff and operate, under the international conventions that says persons who are not involved in combat, civilian population should be protected.
Absolutely.
These are the lines.
Right.
So these difficulties, are part of the difficulties of the operation.
Absolutely. I mean, but the military should ensure that they sift out those terrorists so that we don't have these needless deaths. May their souls rest in peace. Well, meanwhile, talking about tragedy on Christmas Day, a passenger on Azerbaijan Airlines flight, which crashed on Christmas Day, killing 38 people in Kazakhstan, sent a video to his wife just minutes before the crash. In the video, passengers were heard praying while some oxygen masks were already down.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Qabağa 20 nəfər gəlsin. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah. Hamı eləsin, ağısı durmaq olmaz. Allahu Ekber. Dəhlizdə durmayın, təhlükəlidir. Əşhədü ənə Muhammed Rasulullah.
Oh, this was so scary. Ayo, this is one of my biggest fears, a plane crash. We have a video showing the moment the plane crashed near Kazakh city of Akatau. Oh, may their souls rest in peace. Chilling moment. I mean, some of our viewers might have been disturbed by that video, but I wanted to show the bravery of the pilot and how he maneuvered his way.
Yes, I have to say, and that's the reason why 29 survived. So the 38 died, but look at how bad that situation was. But if you watch the footage, the pilots were really the heroes of this particular incident. So they'd been trying to fight for 1.5 hours. So you'd see the plane going up and down to save the plane from a very bad crash. And their heroic effort is what made it possible that despite that terrible crash. 29 survivors were able to walk out of the plane, with various degrees of injuries. A very sad one on the Christmas Day. National Day of Mourning has been announced today in Kazakhstan, and really, really sad on this note. May the departed rest in peace.
Very tragic incident, but to consider what caused it. The initial explanation was that it was a bird strike. Now we're told by the experts who know this subject that it couldn't have been a bird strike, because a bird strike, there's a way you could save the situation. Now, military experts are saying that if there were holes in the fuselage of that particular aircraft, and that perhaps this was an land-to-air defense missile or whatever, attacking that particular passenger airliner from Baku in Azerbaijan, heading towards Grozny in the Chechen Republic of Russia.
All right.
The conspiracies apart, the authorities in Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan say that they are investigating and that they've recovered the black box.
Right.
In days to come, we will know the truth.
All right. It wasn't such a sad...
With due respect, this is also a rarity, this number of people surviving, which we thank God for. And also, let's not forget the fact that Azerbaijani Airlines has a very good safety record.
All right. Well, all right.
Embraer, because the aircraft is Embraer, Brazilian manufactured.
All right.
We need leaders that can come out to give us, or let's say that can face corruption. Because we know how much is being pumped into this military every year. We know how much is being pumped into health sectors every year. We know how much is being pumped in every sector in Nigeria. But yet, after every year, there is nothing to show for it. They are all busy collecting the money to their own pockets. And they're making people suffer. People are suffering in this continent. People are suffering. As military men cannot make that kind of mistake. Like, you target like corrupt terrorist group. And then it's not a mistake that you now want to go and buy some communities in Sokoto. Make it make sense. All these things are staged. They are all planned. And nothing you can tell me that you targeted something at this place. How you thought that once you target here, that is the place it must go. All these are programmed. It's a place, it must go to that place targeted. That means they targeted the wrong place. And then the answer is a mistake. Make it make sense, my people from every Nigeria watching this video. By the way, guys, if you can subscribe to my channel, like my video, don't forget to subscribe and share and click on the like button. See you guys in my next video.